Hey, there was a gentleman in the group that didn't know that you could actually make molds in Prusa Slicer. Uh, Uncle Jesse put out a video, and this is how you do it. We'll go to Thingiverse, we'll find a simple Kirby model, we'll download it, import it into Prusa Slicer, and turn it into a silicon mold. Once we got the model into Prusa Slicer, we're going to go ahead and scale it, maybe cut the bottom off of it, ensure that it's flat. We're going to right click it, click add part, then choose square, and then we'll scale the square to fit the model and move the model around, make sure that everything's flat, and we'll pick a side. Once we pick a side, we're going to want to slice the mold in half, but as you can see, the model didn't come all the way out, so we're going to click on the side menu on Kirby and slide into the edge, and then we're going to slice it. Then once we cut it, we want to make sure that we're keeping both parts. For a more complicated mold, we're going to do the same thing, but we added this little pin here. Now, you add the pin the same thing, but same way, but instead of clicking box, we're going to click cylinder. And then we're going to scale it so it's bigger than the part. So that way, when we slice it and cut it later on, you'll see. If by making the pin bigger and slicing it, you'll have an extra piece that you can print out and use as an alignment for the mold. And just like before, we cut the model in half and we ended up with two pieces. Now we're going to have to arrange these two pieces so that way they're sitting flat and they're faced in the proper direction. We're also going to have to cut that pin, and that way we'll have the pin that will be a perfect fit later on. So I'm moving the parts around, we're going to face them, and we'll cut them. Now, to make Kirby, to make the hollow part of the mold, we're going to go over to the menu, we're going to highlight Kirby, and then right click, and then we're going to turn it to negative volume, and that's going to take away the Kirby part and leave the box. And we'll do the same thing for the pins to create holes. Just remember, we want to keep our parts and cut them accordingly. You can see here where I just cut in half the part and kept the pin. I'm going to face it so the pin is now facing upwards, and then we'll slice the part and you'll see. We'll end up with a mold, two halves of a mold, a pin. Everything will be perfectly flat. We'll have an opening to pour it and a pin to align the two halves. I hope you enjoy this. This was my first time making any kind of how-to tutorials. If I haven't explained something, just put it down in the doodly-doo and like, comment, and subscribe. Here you can see I've got all the parts arranged on the table, and that's how they'll be printed out. Just cleaning everything up, just slicing off the base of that pin, and there was another little pin that stuck out on the other side. We're going to be slicing or cutting that off. You can see over here I'm going to be highlighting different parts and turning those into negative volume. That way the mold will be hollow. Again, if this is my first time making any kind of how-to video, and if I'm not explaining something totally correct, just ask. And the best thing about 3D printing is the community. We all tend to help each other out. We all start someplace. here you can see I got all the parts, they're all there. I got my pen and it's all cleaned up, and I'll continue to hollow out the mold. I just sliced it, and we'll see after everything's sliced. We have the negative volume and we have our mold. I'll clear out the legend there, and we'll see everything there intact. On the one part, it's kind of hard to see. The hole did not go all the way through. I don't know if you can't make it out, but the pen will slide into the second half of that mold. Alright, and enjoy.